Hello everyone and welcome to the second vlog of Goliath. Today is the big one, the Goliath main event. Last year this one got over 10,000 entries and a huge 200k first place prize. Today's been a really fun day, some really interesting hands, and I think you'll look forward to seeing them. Stay tuned to see what happens, and if you stay tuned in long enough, not only will you see the poker, but you'll get to see some behind the scenes footage of the annual Goliath Golf Day. It's not going to be pretty. Tower hits the gong and Goliath is officially off. Day 1C, let's go. Let's get stuck straight into it. We've just about settled in and we have a really nice talkative table. This is why I love Goliath. Everyone's happy to be here. The festival is buzzing. I'm really looking forward to today. First level blinds are 100, 100 and early position opens to 400, a big 4x sizing. I look down on the button to King Jack of Hearts and I decide to make the call. The flop comes Queen of Clubs, 10 of Spades, 4 of Hearts. So we flop the up and down straight draw. We have the backdoor flush draw and we have an overcard. We love this flop. It's a really good one for us. Our opponent decides to bet 600 and I just go for the call. I don't think we need to really inflate the pot here and now. I think our opponent's sizings up until this point show us that they'll be happy to put chips in anyway. So as and when we make a hand to put chips in, we will do that. But at the moment, we'll just call and assess the turn. The turn is the bingo card. Ding, ding, ding. The 9 of clubs. And my opponent goes ahead and bets 2,000 chips. At this point, we are still pretty deep. We have 25k in our stack. That's 250 big blinds. At this point, our opponent isn't scared of putting chips in. They can still have loads of really strong hands on this board that are going to pay us off. So I elect to go for a raise to 6.1k. I feel like my opponent is pretty strong anyway. And if we put chips in the pot here, we can look to get all of the chips in by the river. However, we don't have to wait till the river. My opponent goes all in. I'm loving everything. I really want to run around, high five everyone at the table, but I'm going to hold myself in and I'm just going to make the call. He's all in for 18.8k. We've made the call. He has pocket aces. He's drawing dead and we hold on the 4 of diamonds river. And we are up to 40k. This is a 25k start stack. We're up to 40k in level 1. What could possibly go wrong? Next hand, look down at pocket 2s, the 2 of clubs and 2 of diamonds in the cutoff, and I make a raise to 500. The blinds are now 100 to 200, and I make a raise to 500. The small blind, who seems semi-reggy, quite aggressive, makes it 2,000 chips from the small blind. This deep, I think we are happy just to call pretty much all of our pairs in position versus the 3-bet from the small blind. So that is what we do. We make the call. Flop comes Jack of Hearts, 7 of Hearts, 4 of Spades. And our opponent bets 2,100 chips. This is just south of half pot. Pocket 2s obviously isn't performing very well on this board. My opponent is going to c-bet quite a lot though. I feel like my opponent is c-betting almost 100% on this board. As a result of that, I decide to make the call. Now, we could just go ahead and fold this. It's a hand where we're never really going to improve on river. Even the 2 of hearts brings in the flush draws. But I feel like my opponent is pretty weak, just looking at the way that they put their chips in. So we're going to make the call and we will assess on later streets. There's now 8.6k in the pot and the turn comes an offsuit 9, the 9 of diamonds. My opponent checks and I decide to check as well. This is an interesting one because some people might say, oh, well, we want to bet now and take the pot down. This is something that you'll hear a lot of people saying, and I understand that. We could take the pot down now and potentially deny some equity to our opponent's hands, such as ace-king and ace-queen. However, that's really all we're going to achieve. We're not betting for value. We're not going to get called by anything worse. We're not really bluffing because there's not many better hands are going to fold. So therefore, we're not really achieving that much. So we decided to just check and we'll assess on the river. The river comes a 4 of clubs and my opponent checks to me again. In this spot, we might think we've got lots of showdown value, and we do. We're beating ace-queen and ace-king, which makes up a significant amount of our opponent's range. So the standard thing to do here would be to check, right? Well, I decide that my opponent is really, really heavily weighted towards ace-king and ace-queen. And if that's the case, we can get value from those hands. But how are we going to get value from those hands? At this point, there's 8.6k in the middle. Our opponent's not going to call 4 or 5k with their ace-king. So what I decide to do is go for a 10% river bet, and I decide to bet 800 chips. My opponent looks annoyed, he looks in pain, he picks up 1,000 chip, sighs and puts it in. I quickly turn over the deuces, he quickly mucks his hand, and we're up to 43k. We're value betting deuces on a jack 7-4-9-4. Really happy with this, things are going well. Next hand, we are facing an early position open from a really good reg and really nice guy, a guy called Matt. He happens to be a Brighton fan, but don't judge him based on that. He opens early position to 1300. The small blind makes the call, and I look down at the 10 of hearts and the 8 of spades in the big blind. I decide to defend this hand, probably the bottom of my offsuit defending range here. We're going to go for it. I'm probably folding 10-7 off at this point with the small blind calling, but 10-8 I think just goes into the call range. The flop comes 10 of clubs, 5 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds, and our opponent from under the gun bets 1800 chips. The small blind quickly gets out of the way and I make the call. We have top pair here. We could potentially look to raise, but our opponent still has lots of strong hands from under the gun, so I decide to just go for the call. Turn comes the king of diamonds, so this completes the flush, and obviously our opponent can have some king x as well. And he decides to size up a little bit, and he bets 5,500 into 8,100. At this point, I don't think we get to fold. We still have a really strong hand. We still beat all of our opponent's bluffs. Yes, they can have some king x, but I imagine my opponent betting into 2 players might do a significant amount of checking with their king x part of their range. So I decide to make the call again. Pot is getting a little inflated now. There's 19.1k in the middle. My opponent only has around 16k behind. Things are getting a little bit dicey. The river comes an offsuit king, the king of clubs. And my opponent, after a little bit of thought, puts all of his chips in. He is all in, and we have a very, very marginal hand. Now, at this point, I actually speak to my opponent and I say to him, I really wish it was somebody else betting here. And the reason I said that is because against most players, this is just a really easy fold, but against someone who is really competent, such as Matt, and against someone who is going to find the right amount of bluffs, I feel like this is the type of hand that we're going to call with sometimes. Think about it for a little while, and I do decide to make the call. And unfortunately, my opponent just has the goods. He turns over Queen 7 of diamonds for returned flush. He quickly says, "Thank you, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me," in regards to what I said to him. And he scoops a really nice pot. So we lose a chunk there. It was over a 50k pot, but we still have a significant stack, and we are still in the game. I did actually look at this one afterwards in the solver, and 10-8 does make the call a significant amount of the time. Around about 88% of the time, 10-8 does call on the river. However, it does prefer combos of 10-8 that have a diamond in them. My specific combo of 10-8 does call sometimes, so I'm pretty happy with that. Straight after the 10-8 hand, we head off onto a little break. Kind of good time, and I probably needed that after that failed hero call. I'm pretty happy with the play, but still, it affects you a little bit when you make a big call and you're wrong. So I head out to see Simon from Grosvenor, and I had a chance to spin the wheel for a free ticket. This is something that all people with a Grosvenor Online account can do. If you're there for the rest of this week, make sure you go see Simon. It'll be just outside of the main hall, and you could win yourself up to a £250 ticket for free. I spin the wheel, and I say unfortunately, but I land on a £5 ticket. I was about to say, unfortunately, I only got a £5 ticket, but I got £5 ticket for free. It's completely free for everyone. You get one spin each. Make sure you pop down and see him. We're back and we have moved tables, and we're in a spot where I hadn't started videoing early enough, but we are in a spot where we've got it in with Ace Jack versus nines again, just like in the 1250 main. So we've got Ace Jack v nines for 20 big blinds each against all-round good guy Iman Sarkashik. Unfortunately, our Ace Jack doesn't get there on the ace high board, and we're down to fumes. I then quickly after this ran 10s into Ace King, and because I'm a noob to vlogging, I didn't record that one either. GG on this bullet. Time for a quick Nando's, and then I'll be back in to max late reg. That Nando's was beautiful. It's always nice to have good food with great people. We're back in now, and we're all in first hand with Ace King. The hijack opens, the button calls, and I jam for 10 big blinds from the big blind with Ace King. Sit back and enjoy the rest of this hand, and enjoy the action as it epitomises Goliath. I'm not going to have a voiceover here. Just listen to what these guys are saying and enjoy it.
Can't slow roll me after I gave you a £10
Oh, I won't slow roll you. I can't slow roll you.
You just like the camera time, don't you?
Get the bloody camera. Oh, cool.
Oh, 22. Fuck me, you're good. That is an unbelievable move.
Yeah, priced in now, mate. Anyhow.
Here we go. Good luck. They hold
Good
up.
luck, yeah, as he means it from the heart of his bottom.
I'm Ace King.
Beats me.
Beats me.
Everyone goes over those other.
Oh my god! Look at this. Why are we frisbee when we done a brainstorm?
Cheers, lads.
See what I
I
mean?
appreciate the triple
This
up. Thank you
guy.
very much.
This guy.
I have absolutely no idea how we end up winning that all-in with Ace King on that board versus two players, but I'm not going to complain. This table is a lot of fun. We have a lot of characters on here. This is what Goliath is all about. At this point, my phone battery had almost died as we went into the last 4 levels of the day, but I didn't really have too many significant hands anyway. I managed to win maybe around about 16 big blinds with Kings versus Ace Queen pre, and then I did get very lucky with Ace 4 suited versus Ace King. The King came in the window, and then I hit runner 4s, so very fortunate to win that one, albeit for a small amount. This built my stack up to around about 180k, which was enough to bag up and make day 2 with 18 big blinds. We have a huge opportunity now to kick on and go deep in this amazing tournament, and I am buzzing for Saturday. Not only that, but we've now earned a day off, and as a result we're off to our Goliath golf day tomorrow. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the video, as at the end, there's one shot in it, and we're going to go through the final hole in full. Follow along for the drama. Got a day off today at the Forest of Arden Golf Club, playing a group of absolute punters who are all crap at golf. So yeah, let's batter them.
To tee box, Jamie Nixon, Newcastle upon Tyne. Newcastle upon Tyne. Oh, he's actually hit a good one here. If he hits that inside my ball, I'm going to be absolutely fuming. That is going to be close. Good shot, mate.
Just on the uphill.
Well played, sir.
Thank you.
No pressure, Tom.
Definitely is. I don't know if I can get over the iron, but I don't want to fuck it with it.
nailed it.
Where is it?
On the green, I think. Sure. The short? I think so. I pulled out a shot there. Right, Tim, no pressure. So straight. Always hit it well. On play canvas. Sand?
Don't know.
Shot number 2, 25 yards. Oh.
Jamie shot number 2 for the Nixon. Very short. He's very short.
Third shot for Hudson. It's close. Never been this stressed in poker.
So, I think is it me to go? I need you to miss. This keeps it going. He's missed them all day, and it's carried on now. Two shots for the win. What you don't want to do is overhit it.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. That was a really fun day. Managed to bag for Goliath, which is always great. Going to be back for day 2 on Saturday. But most importantly and most enjoyably, beat Tom at golf. It came down to that last hole. Was one shot ahead going into the last hole, and we both got a pretty embarrassing 5 on a par 3, but I got the win, and that's all that matters. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be doing another vlog over the next few days. We're going to have the Joker's Wild event, and we're going to have the Deep and Steep as well. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. See you all soon.